Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
I'm from Flint, F-L-I-N-T. Fight like it's no tomorrow, motherfucker.
Yeah. Thinking to myself like, what the fuck is going on? Asking God for help like, what the fuck I'm doing wrong? He ain't giving me no answers, I figured it out myself. Got tired of asking questions, I'm tired of looking for help. Man, I can't win for losing, I'm steady taking these losses. Had to bury greed and chink, same week, 2 different coffins. Man, that shit'll traumatize you when it ain't trying to. Everybody shedding tears, you trying not to cry too. They say they feel my pain, but they don't know how much I'm hurting. Mama told me pray, it usually help, but it ain't working. Just to numb this pain, I'm popping Perkins by the 30s.
Hey,
LPs.
what's
You in the
good,
motherfucking
fella?
building? Is you in the motherfucking building?
I is in the motherfucking building. What's
Man,
up, Big Snow? Where you at?
We got some guests tonight, man.
Are you in the building though?
Man, I'm in this motherfucker with my rowdy people tonight. Hey, look,
Oh yeah,
go in. We going in. Hey, Trump
I heard.
2024. Trump 2024 now. I don't give a fuck. Who we got? Who we got in the house? Introduce yourself.
This Will B right here. I just want to know where the church at. Introduce somebody from the church house.
Who else we got?
Man, this is MAGA Man over here.
Okay, MAGA Man. Oh,
Yeah.
who else we got? Fuck it is, but it is. Let's get it in, man. Hey, what we talking about tonight? What we got? What do we got, man?
Because I was trying to figure out what was going on with Donald Trump. I mean, because it's election season, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. We got from the 21st to the 1st to get him elected, right?
So
I
want
to start off with one question. And
what's up?
I need to get answers about this, man. You know, because me personally, you know, all I know is I can only go off the facts and what I see in my experience, right? So I know within the last 4 years, it's been the worst I'd ever seen it in my life. Yes, I agree with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the 4 years before that. I seen more of my people doing the best that they ever did. I seen them doing the best in my life. In my lifetime. When Trump was in office, we got so much money. We was and like black women, he did a lot for black women. He gave them business rights. You know what I'm saying? So more black women own their own business than ever in history. And they were saying, and that was a statistic that was out way before he was even running for re-election. So he got more black women on than any time in history. He did more for women and colored women's rights than anybody else in history. So
and don't forget, he also did one of the biggest tax cuts in history, of a president.
Oh yeah. And then he was fed a pandemic.
That's right.
Right. They fed him the pandemic, and I call it the plandemic because now the plan has started. and see what the reason they had to get him out of office is because he wasn't willing to play the game. He thought that once he became the CEO, then it was his country. And they said, "Oh no, nigga, wigger." You know what I'm saying? This is our country. And we're going to tell you what to do and how to run it. And whoever they put in office is a figurehead, okay? And they want you to remain a figurehead. See, I'm going to tell you this is my opinion, right? When Trump became president, the reason why I said that he was the worst president that I've ever seen in history is because
he was going against everything that we were taught a president was. The whole image of them portraying a president in America, it was washed away when Donald Trump took office.
Yeah.
He wasn't playing with it because it's a CEO position, a position that he's held for over 40 years. So he knows how to make money. He knows how to get deals done. He has relationships with a lot of different people in the world.
Absolutely.
So he's the perfect person to become president of the United States at this point in time.
Yeah, one of the first businessmen to sit in office, you know, who can really sit down at the table and do numbers and bring the other prime ministers to the table and let them see how beneficial it is to even do business the proper way.
Right, because you're doing business with the United States of America, and they need a president that is a business-minded president that is for the conduction of business. Because we've been able to run under this whole facade. See, we have tell, lies, and vision, right? Tell, lies, and vision. Tell us lies and vision. We think that our relationship with these doctors are different than what, you know, like when you see a doctor-patient visit on TV, they're so attentive and they're so professional and you know, you believe that this is what a doctor relationship is. Well, I found out that you can get shot in the face, and if your fucking bullet is not life-threatening, they're gonna leave it in your face. And you have to take the bullet out yourself. Now, I've seen that in movies too.
From experience, they left one in me and waited till it rose to the top of my skin and took it out. But they left it in me for years, so I can vouch for that.
This is what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, we're under unrealistic you know, views of what this reality called life is.
Well, yeah. Well, see, what it is you know, a lot of people don't understand the difference between a filtered source and a non-filtered source. If you get the majority of your information from 35, 40 preset channels, pushing one narrative, that's a big difference from getting on the internet, which has been demonized. It's already the name internet has been demonized when it's really just a highway to the information. But it's so many lies on the internet that it discourages people. But it's just as much truth as well. So it's designed for you to use your perception and get in the deep end and find out what the real truth is. Because if you compare it to a filtered source, you'll never get guys like us who can get on the internet and say, hey, look, they showed y'all this Monday, but in reality, the tape was edited. It was really this tape. They'll never do that on television, but that's a service that you can almost guarantee you're going to receive on the internet.
Okay, and then check this out, because this is where I was going with it. We have been force-fed this narrative of what a president is supposed to look like, act like, behave, and all this shit. Now, before the election season, I mean, you know, in the election season, when you're trying to get nominated, these representatives and politicians are the lowest of the lowest people. They're doing some of the worst shit that you can think of to each other, you know, in order to knock the next, opponent off.
Well, the average president comes in office broke anyway, so they can easily be bought. So this is the first time we've seen a guy come in there with this type of control who can look at those lobbyists and look at those senators and those congressmen and they have no effect on him. Whereas normally a president like Obama or Biden, they come in there, they all in their pockets. So, you know, and then you can't forget about another thing. One of the main things that's going on right now is these two narratives right here. People know that when you don't like somebody, they can't do nothing right, and when you like somebody, they can't do nothing wrong. And that's what we got going on here with this whole thing.
Man, I like this brother right here. This is an intelligent man. And look,
sharp, real sharp.
This is what I found out about the internet. And I love this about the internet. I'm able to get on the internet and listen to my people say some of the most intelligent, powerful, moving, mindful things. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea that my race of people was this damn intelligent.
Oh yeah, It's all around us. We'll see if you cut out compulsory education, then you can really see then kings can be born. But as
Is
long
he
as
using big words? Did he
well,
say compulsory education?
well,
Oh,
you know, that's our public school system put together by John D. Rockefeller and Frederick Gates in the early
what?
1900s, made to dumb the people down because
What?
if you send your if you send a school if you juke a parent and because you can't juke the kid because the kid is following the parent. So if you juke the parent and make a parent believe that your kids need to go to school and learn words like cat, rat, bat, and dog while it's a real live world going on, then when they reach 13, which internationally is grown, they won't know anything diplomatically. They won't know law. They'll just know what the compulsory education system has taught them. So then once they step into the courtroom, then they'll become a client because they won't know anything. They'll need somebody to represent them.
Yes. Yes. Man, goddamn boy. That's powerful. That is powerful. Who else
Yeah.
got something intelligent they want to say? For real. Hey, yo,
Well,
I just learned about that whole education system, how they was getting the blacks how they were getting the low income people, the farmers' kids and all that stuff, and then how they eventually got the blacks into this whole education stream.
and then
It was to build the workforce.
right, and then don't forget at the same time they had the door knockers going around with the welfare agency, making sure there wasn't no mail in the home at the same time. No, there wasn't. Making sure checking under the bed and checking in the refrigerator and making
I
sure
remember
that
those times.
if they want that check, that mail can't be there. See, you got 75, 85%. Rate with no mail in the home right now. So it's almost like in the
We systematically got fucked. They tore up the black family by tearing down the black man, and they bought the black woman. And because she was in a place of needy, she took the help, and turned her back on the black man. The only problem with that is she gives birth to them.
Well, first of all, she bought into the white woman's problems because it wasn't the black woman who couldn't vote and who couldn't drive and who couldn't work. It was black men and black women couldn't do that. It was for the white woman, but the black woman bought into her problems, and then they combined, and then that kind of made them against the black male when they joined the white woman's civil rights problems. Those were her problems. Black people had problems, male and female.
They moved the feminist movement with the civil rights movement. They blended them in, you know what I'm saying? And that's how they got the black woman. She was bamboozled.
Yeah, she bought into the story. It wasn't her problem.
Right. And see, you saying that sounds like a real alpha male type thing, real controlling black man, and that's the narrative that they drop on us. When we're strong, when we're smart, when we're intelligent, when we're leaders, when we're, fathers, because, they play like we don't want to be fathers to our children. And we're some of the best fathers to our children that ever graced the planet.
You better believe
it. No question about it.
Right. You know how hard it is for a man to make a baby, and I mean, not just mentally. I mean, you have to. I mean, physically, biologically. That's what I was saying. Biologically, we can't stray from our children. The same way that woman feels about her child is the same way that father feels about his child. Okay. So biologically, we go through some shit too. Just 9 times out of 10, we're distracted with the system, with the workforce, with coming home, having to battle our own women in our own homes. We never get a day of rest, and we work until we die. Or, they kill the opportunities for us and then force us into a life of other stuff, and then they lock us up.
Well, a lot of folks need to go if they can find it still, because they rip it down off the internet every time they get a chance. But if they can go look at something called an interview by Rabbi A.B. Finkelstein, what he does is he tells everybody he's a whistleblower, and he told everybody, all of the plans, that all of the things that we're talking about now, it's almost like when people get up in age, they start feeling guilty and want to right their wrongs, and it's like automatic. A lot of folks don't know that it's a whole world of information that's given up by whistleblowers, and it's their way of righting their wrongs. So we can find out what's been done. It's all in books. They can't help but tell the truth. It's everywhere. But you got some people who believe they're not optimistic at all. They're not hopeful at all. So they would think that guys like me and you wouldn't even be able to obtain this information, bro.
Right. Exactly. And then that's the thing is that we not only do we obtain this information, we embody this information, and come to find out as the original man, all this knowledge and shit comes from us. We have never been a dumb people. We have always been spiritually and like universally connected to the earth and to, you know, like I say, the whole system. This is why we're having these conversations now. But back to Trump, though.
Yeah, or back to the church, because I really, like I said in the beginning when I first came on, I really want to see if T can get some church folk online. I just want to discuss some things with people who are supposed to have a moral compass. That's what I want to see, because on that other side, if we was to take race out of the game, and we really can't take race out of the game because Trump would be what you call a suspected racist. I don't think he is at all. But if we just give him any benefit of the doubt, we'll say a suspected racist. But what we got in Biden is a documented racist, which is something much different, because a documented racist has already implemented laws specifically to lock up black folks. So it seems to me that black folks have been a little bit selective in their forgiveness when they ran down there and voted for Biden. So I don't want to talk about race no more. We can switch the subject and go straight to moral issues. And that's where I can drain the swamp with all of the Kamala people right there with all the moral issues, because they have no morals over there. See, when we went to school, all we had to deal with was bullies, coming home late, not getting your work done, or you're cutting up in class, stuff like that, or skipping class. But what we're going to introduce our youth to is a spiritually immoral society where a boy might get kicked out of school for calling a boy a boy. It, like I say the other day, it could be tampons in the girls' bathroom, in the boys' bathrooms. They want to take government spending and give it to guys who are looking for a way to get out of prison. So they switch themselves over to a woman and then go to a woman's prison with full genitalia under Kamala. See, this is what she'll push. She this is all supposed to be stuff that the church looks at as Sodom and Gomorrah type stuff.
Hey, and I agree with you. And then I'm deeper on another level. Because, see, remember when they were privatizing jails?
Okay.
They demonized everybody that bought into the privatization of jail because it wasn't marketed to them like that. They didn't come to them and tell them, if you privatize the jail, you know what I'm saying? They're like, if you privatize the jail, it'll be a nicer place. And you think you're doing something good. And you're like, okay, so I'm going to invest into the jails so that these dudes have a new jail to go to with different rules and stuff. You know, they played it like it was a good thing. I was talking to my uncle the other night and I asked him, I said, hey man, have you been checking out what they doing with these new prisons? I'm like, these motherfuckers and not only is they building new apartments and new houses, they got an agenda to build 3 million homes in America. And so they're giving out tax breaks and tax cuts and loans to all these major developers. And then I got to thinking, I said, well, I know they're building prisons too. So they're building these new prisons that you can have virtual consultation with to help you work through your problems. This is the next step to rehabilitation. They have it's run by AI. You have to scan your retina and everything. And this way they're saying they're protecting these inmates from everybody knowing what they're in jail for. So this place is like the next level PC. Okay, that's what they're trying to get the light on. That's why they locked Diddy up. because they wanted to get the light on this new prison and the way that it works and the way that it flows, because you'll be able to talk to him via video camera or some shit.
So who pushing that?
It's a developing company that they have. You know what I'm saying? That develops properties and shit. I forgot what it's called. It's something. Hold on.
So when is the Kamala people gonna come in here?
Yeah, do they have any? I mean, all you gotta do is call the church, man. See, she got her majority of her votes is church votes, man. It's church member votes, and that's where she ain't supposed to have no votes, because they supposed to be thinking about Lot and his wife. They supposed to be thinking about the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. That's what they supposed to be thinking about. They supposed to be thinking about pro-life. That's what they supposed to be thinking about. So I don't know what's going on. I just know that I'm just ready to talk to the church. The church has failed, man. I just need the church online. I got some specific questions for the church.
When you were president, you built one of the strongest economies our country's ever seen. One of the ways you did that was by passing the largest tax cut in American history. We have a question from Willie, who wants to ask you something about taxes and what you're going to do.
Good evening, future President Trump. I'm a local contractor in this town.
He's a cool-looking guy, too. He's better looking than you.
I'm a local contractor in this town, and I live here my whole life. And I'm going to tell you, I'm kind of concerned about crucial Kamala's tax increase. Can you outline for the people what you plan on doing about taxes?
Great. It's a great question. Look, she's going to double up your taxes. She wants to terminate the Trump tax cut. Just that is going to lift up your taxes by 44%. Just that one move.
That's cold, Jack.
Yes, sir. I mean, you know, they let us get as close as we can, you know, to get some questions out. But you know how it is.
You know, we were supposed to be on stage. You know, we were supposed to have been on stage with him, but we was moving around when they came to get us, man. You know what I mean? So, but they put us. They had another seat for us, front row. You know?
Right.
So check this out, ladies and gentlemen. The new generation jails are a type of jails that are designed that differs from traditional jails in both their physical environment and their approach to inmate supervision. They are known as modular or direct supervision jails. They reduce fear by ensuring the safety of inmates and staff by providing privacy. The reduction of isolation by providing positive expectations and reducing isolation from the outside world. So that means they're going to be really scenic. And then you got the vision, the VR glasses and shit to get you into reenacting with people, so to speak. You know, they provide officer leadership and encourage contact between staff and inmates. You see what I'm saying?
That's how cold.
Yeah, I mean, these new generation prisons are man, look, and then let me tell you. So Alabama is investing $1.8 billion in the prison system. That means 4,000 beds are being built in Eleanor County, right? Nebraska, 350 million prison system in the prison system, 1,500 beds expected by the fall of 2024. Georgia, 1.69 billion in prisons, 4,500 beds. New York, plans are underway to replace Rikers Island. Kansas, 532 million in a prison project. They got a 126-year-old penitentiary. And so they're trying to upgrade these prisons, and they're using AI. They're using all of these innovative programs, all this like handprint shit. You know what I'm saying? Where do they keep all the data for that at? You know, who's in charge of that data? You know, if there's a data breach, you know, stuff like that. It's a crazy world we're living in.
No question.
Yeah, man. I wish I was born back, you know, a generation before, man. The Rick James era, man. You know what I mean? There's a lot of sucker shit going on right now. A lot of weird shit, man, that I ain't with. You know?
Hey, this AI shit is out of control.
I'm supposed to be on my way out right now.
Yeah,
push your 80 something.
I'm saying it's really, really hard for us right now with this AI stuff, man. Because they're able to computer generate
Man,
all
I
these
ain't tripping on
images.
the. I really ain't tripping on the AI, man. I'm more tripping on the reality of all this homosexuality, this gaydom.
No, but check this out though. They're using the AI platform, and they're using our images. They're using us as black people to push their narrative. Now they don't have to convince us to push their narrative. They can just generate a black person, because the reason why I say this is if you're ever on YouTube and you keep hearing them fucking crazy commercials that drive me crazy, that these $6,400 subsidies, are you crazy? If you're not getting your money, they have a bag for you. It's the most ghetto black bitch you ever want to hear in your motherfucking life. If she was to call your house or call your phone, or if you was to meet her out in public, you wouldn't even get her number. That's the type of bitch they got portraying these black women. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like, and I don't think that's cool. And then I'm looking at the AI shit, and then they got black men speaking on things that they're not supposed to be speaking on. Like they've used a lot of it, you know, to sway the Kamala Harris people into voting for Kamala Harris. And I just would like to say, if you're voting her, you know, if you're voting for her because she's a black woman, you know what I'm saying, then
failing the people.
But she's not even black. She's not black at all.
That's what I'm saying. She's not even black.
But
if you're voting for her because she's a woman, then you're sexist. You have to vote for her because she will get the job done, because you believe in her in getting the job done. And then right before she, you know, became the nominee for the Democratic Party, they were shitting on her. The whole Democratic Party.
I never heard her talk, man.
On her.
I didn't even know she was vice president, man, while Biden was in office, man.
This is what I'm saying. They were saying as a vice president, she didn't do anything for the border. She didn't do anything she said she was going to do. And they went so far as to talk about how black she was. And see, her mother just happens to be an Indian woman, and she was raised in some part of California. But at the same time, she may have just been influenced by us, and she looks like us, but she ain't one of us though, because they ain't showed her daddy yet.
Well, it's already. Well, what's her name? Candace Owens got a tape she just brought out yesterday that exposed it all. She's been studying it for the last week or two, and now she finally got the tape out. Now it's all been done. The girl ain't connected to nothing black.
That's why she don't have a black husband, because that was going to be my third and final point. Well, if it's because she's a woman, you're sexist. If it's because she's black, you're racist. And if you're going with her, and you got to understand, this is a black woman that has opted to marry a white man over a black man.
Yeah, so, but what about this here? I know a whole bunch of real black women who say that being a president and being a woman is not even a good look. So I don't feel her being a president, whether she got the right policy or not, it's not even a good look for a woman. I don't even know where that is.
Listen here, man. We're not gonna be respected on a world platform.
It's not a good look for America.
It's not a good look for America, man. Them leaders in them other countries, man.
They don't respect skirts. They don't respect skirts.
No.
They don't respect skirts. And they tell you that ahead of time. They'll give your security guard more respect.
We already defeated.
Yeah, all the real. Now I ain't saying these other women ain't real, but catch my drift. I talk to a lot of real women who say, and I know these is real women because of how they operate in life, and they say that a woman being president is not a good look. Period. That ain't even a good look.
Now, a woman being a vice president, I can go for that. You know what I mean? But a man is supposed to lead. Period. A man is the head, not the tail. So we just looking weak on the world stage, man.
Exactly.
Even the people who made it.
She won't become president.
So what that saying to the world? We didn't have a male qualified to be the president? Are you kidding?
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a damn shame.
Hey, look, check this out.
Have the base,
We
man.
would be the first country to nominate a trainee for president.
That's right. That's right.
Man, listen
That's
at
right.
here, man. Listen at this,
That's
T.
right. That's
Listen
right.
at this.
I'm talking
Have you
about
ever have you ever ran across
the
a
simple fact
woman?
of fairness.
Huh?
No. I'm saying we would nominate a trainee just to be fair, just to be
Man,
politically correct.
I hope I'm gone by the end.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure
I hope
after Donald Trump
But I'm gonna
term
tell
is
you
up,
though, a lot of people don't
we will
know.
have a trainee.
A lot of people don't know the story of Lot and his wife. But if they know that story, they'll know that the spirit that we dealing with, this immoral spirit that we dealing with, is not a humble spirit that sits back like, hey, just leave me alone and let me be me. No, this is an imposing spirit that's not satisfied until you become it.
Hey, check this out. I
trying to
need
push
you
that
to
shit.
enlighten us on that story.
Well,
Go ahead and share that. You brought it up. Go ahead and share the story.
Well, the story of Lot and his wife goes as such. You know, well, Lot already knew the two angels was on their way in town to destroy the city, but when they got there, they didn't want to come in at first. They wanted to watch the city. They wanted to go around and look and check things out. But Lot insisted that they came inside. But after he insisted, they came inside and then he washed their feet and he gave them something to eat. But as soon as they showed up, here come, and according to the scripture, how it goes, it says that they were old and young, these gay people who came to the house, and they came and told Lot that they wanted those two angels that was in the house. So he came outside and shut the door behind himself and told them, hey, look, man, why don't y'all do this thing the right way and take my daughters? I got some daughters y'all can take and do this the right way. Plus, trust me, y'all don't want to deal with them angels in there, them guys in there. Y'all don't know who they are. So they basically told Lot, hey, man, if you don't get out the way, man, we're going to do something to you, bro. So when the angels heard this, they opened the door and snatched Lot in. And then this is the point I'm getting to in the whole story right here, to show people that it's an imposing spirit. When he snatched Lot, when the angels snatched Lot back into the house, they blinded the people on the outside of the house. And when they did that, I just want to pause for a minute just to say this. If I'm fighting somebody, man, or I'm into it with somebody and I go blind, I'm not lying, man. It's time out. I got to go get my vision. But these guys, when the angels blinded these people, man, they turned up and really tried to get in the house there. It was almost like a zombie movie. So what that's letting you know is that the society was shot, because they said it was in the old, there was from old to young. So if you interpret in that, you seeing that it's like it is right now. The society is shot from young and old, and that's how it was in that time. So after they showed that the spirit was imposing and they tried to break into the house, that's when the angels say, hey man, Lot, man, get your daughters and your wife and come on, let's go. We're gonna burn this boy down. There ain't nothing else we can do. I'm talking about they trying to come in the house while they blind. So that's what I'm saying. When people sitting back and they acting like they can be neutral with this type of spirit, there is no gray area. You either with it or you not. It ain't no, as long as they don't bother me, I'm straight, or that ain't none of my business. No, you can't do that because it's an imposing spirit. So it's not going to stop until you become it.
Okay. And see, that's the thing that people need to learn and need to know about what's going on in the world today. It's bigger than Trump and Kamala. It's bigger than you and I. This is
That's
a
right.
spiritual war.
Not to cut you off, but just to say this. We all half dead, bro. Anybody that's 40 and 50 years old, we half dead. So anytime you talk about racism, we can deal with that one-on-one with a gun or with whatever. But let's talk about our grandkids, kids, and the immoral society that Kamala and them is silently finna push onto them, and the church folk. And the church folk is acting as if they unaware that this is going on.
Right. And see, you speaking from a place of the church, obviously, right?
Well, yeah. I'm basically saying Yeah. I'm
I'm
basically
saying you're
saying.
holding them accountable for the way that the world is going right now. That's your position on this,
No,
right?
well, no, not necessarily. I'm not holding them accountable, but what I am holding them accountable for is what they're saying in the church house, and I'm holding them to that concerning their vote, because if they haven't studied who they're voting for, they're voting for Sodom and Gomorrah. So if they represent,
and you did say that, because I did. I was talking to somebody, and I did point out the fact that the church no longer preaches against homosexuality.
well, the 501c3 stops that.
Yeah, because see, I thought, because from growing up as a child, and I was going to churches and stuff, and I would hear them speak about homosexuality. Then, like, I think like in the mid '90s, going into the 2000s, that they stopped completely. Like nobody wants to mention anything about the LGBTQ plus community and shit no more, because it's so many of them. And that's kind of like us, being chosen by God and then having to fight off society, because it's only so many of us and it's a lot of them. And then they are blinded. They're totally blinded. And I call them sheep all the time. I'm like, these people are moving like sheep, because nobody wants to wake up and be aware. Nobody wants to actually have a relationship with you anymore. You can't actually talk to people. As long as we got like text message and Facebook, they feel like they wished you happy birthday. We're really out of touch with each other, and then we got AI to interfere with that.
Well, it comes from a deep, dark place, and I just want to say this right here. I don't know how many church people is listening, but man, it comes from a place way back, and it comes from a deep place, and it starts with a few different narratives that you push to people. And I don't want to get churchy right now, but I'm just gonna say this.
Go ahead and get churchy. Go ahead and get churchy. These motherfuckers need religion.
Well, I'm gonna say this right here. First of all, when it comes to books, men write books. Men write books, and men are the only people who are validating the inspiration of these books. So I want to say this right here. Anytime a writer can get the reader to believe that God made two perfect people who knew no sin and knew nothing of sin, anytime a writer can make a reader believe that, then the next question that the reader is going to have is, where did evil come from? Because he's not going to believe that evil came from those two individuals, when in fact it did. They're just divine creations. They're not perfect individuals, but that's just a story people want to believe. And I'm saying that to get to this. When that question is asked, well, where did evil come from? Then that's a perfect time for people or someone or a writer to produce an imaginary character of literature that people can write their wrongs off on, namely Satan. And that's why me and my people, we don't subscribe to a Satan. We know that evil is attached to humans, and we know that it's an attribute of humans. And so when you're looking at a human, you're dealing with a spiritual manifestation of potential good and evil. So what mankind has done is taken human attributes and anthropomorphized them, or in other words, made them human-like, give them human-like characteristics. It's just like if I say the sun is shining, that's one thing. But if I say the sun is walking on the water, then now I'm anthropomorphizing it, because I'm giving it human-like qualities now. And that's what mankind has done to evil and good. They've turned it into a conscious being, when in reality, if you would remove the human, you remove the evil and the good. And that's what people have to understand. If you got them blaming a devil or looking for a Satan, when the Satan is right in front of them, or the devil is right in front of them in the form of a human, because we divine creations who have spirits that can transition from evil to good. So if you're dealing with a Satan or a devil, you're dealing with a human. There has been no encounter with no individual who has been kicked out of heaven, sent to earth, walking around to and fro, and influencing mankind's iniquities.
No, that's not what the devil does. The devil is a tempting spirit. He has no dominion over you. because you are a creation of your Father. He created you in
Well,
His light,
let
so
me
He
let me
gave
ask
you
you
His power.
let me ask you this, because I heard you say something. I just want to ask you this. Then, if that's so, then let me just ask you. So is it true that the Satan needs a human for mobility? In other words, if he doesn't have any power unless we give it to him, that in fact is saying, in a sense, that
Yeah,
he has no mobility without a
yeah,
human. So
yeah.
that explains. So that explains to me why they make Satan omnipotent, or in other words, he's omnipresent or everywhere, because humans are everywhere. So that's the excuse for him to be everywhere. Because according to a lot of believers, they say that he's in a man right now that's shooting in Ukraine, and he's also in a guy. He's influencing a guy in Chicago right now that's stepping on another guy right now. So if he's omnipotent like a god, see, because that makes this individual a god,
Mhm.
because he's omnipotent. So, and I understand where that comes from, because a lot of people think that it's an opposite of God just because it's an opposite of good. See, there's automatically an opposite of good. That's evil. But there is no
Mhm.
opposite of God. There is no individual who
Right.
fights against God. Nobody's arms is long enough to fight against God. So there is
Mhm.
no individual who got into it with God and got casted
I
down.
mean, he
You know,
he he, he was God's. He's one of God's sons. He created. He created God, and
according to scripture, right? I
of
understand.
course, yeah.
According to
And
scripture.
see, check this out. I'm a universal type of person, spiritually. You know, I'm dedicated, and I've been absorbing all of this. That's why I'm finding such an intrigue in your conversation. But while we're talking about, Satan and everything, everybody thinks that, Satan is this demon and you're going to see these horns and this red guy. No, Satan resides in all of us. Like it's this little piece of us that is just prone to do bad. And that's why you
Okay.
have the
Okay.
that's why you have the good thoughts, and that's why you have the bad thoughts.
Now, you know what? I can buy that. You know what? Now
Yeah,
that makes more sense than a
it's,
lot of
it's,
stuff I heard. And the reason why I say that is because if people make a statement such as this, evil covered the land. Well, yeah, that's one thing. But if you say, but another person could look at it like it's a concentrated spirit with a conscious that's a being of its own. And that's the part that I'm
check
saying is
this
not.
out.
As long as you saying that it's a piece of everybody, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe in the individual's devil anyway.
Yo, so somebody told me, say, you trust everybody, just not the devil inside of them. And
Okay.
that's what
Okay.
led me to
Okay.
that thought. And that's what
Okay.
led me to get that confirmation.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I'm divinely connected as well, and I was
Okay.
that way before I got shot, and that's why he saved my life, And so
Yeah.
right now I'm in my learning stage, so I'm digging what you're saying, but we are in a spiritual warfare, and
No question about it. We divine creations
right,
of the Most High. We
yeah,
divine creations of the Creator. And I'm not
that,
saying Most High like I'm a Hebrew, because
no,
I'm no religion, but I have studied
right,
them all. But I do
right.
understand.
That's what. Hey, a man who seeks knowledge finds himself. And
That's
that's
right.
what you're supposed to do. You're
My
not
man.
supposed to be confined to a religion, confined to an ideology, confined to a way of thinking. You're supposed to absorb all knowledge. That way you
Yeah.
can make your own assumption of how you want to live this life. This
Well,
life is
well,
an
well,
experience that we're having for someone else.
one of the main things people need to understand is that, like I said before in the beginning, only men write books, and only men validate the inspiration of those books. In other words, what I'm saying is, you got people out here who saying God wrote books, but then when you ask them, how did they get here? They say, well, a man was inspired. Okay, well, then that's back through the hands of a man. And this is
No, no,
what
no.
people have to understand. I just want to make this point. I just want to make this point right here.
Explain the flow. Explain the flow from God to child.
Say it again.
Explain the flow. God, man, woman, child. Anything other than that is out of sync. You're definitely not of God if it doesn't flow like that.
But right, you definitely don't have a mediator that's in between you and God. That's the problem. Because a lot of people don't understand that anciently, if you study world history, you'll see that all the conquerors always inserted their deities into our spiritual systems. See, our spiritual systems, we never worship men. Only our conquerors only worship men. And when we allowed our conquerors into our spiritual system, that way we decide to start worshiping men. That's why we need a savior now. But in reality, that was never our narrative. We
No,
never looked for a savior.
your savior is within you.
Your
You know
savior
what I'm saying? When God says, when you're looking for God, God tells you to look within.
Know thyself.
Know thyself. Take the time to get to know yourself. You need quiet time so he can talk to you. You know what I'm saying? You need to understand the God inside you. And I decided with my second chance of life that I was going to move with positive energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm moving in my God body and my God mind. And so I'm flowing with the positive energy. Not to say that negative shit don't happen or sometimes I don't get upset about things. I mean, I have emotions and feelings and everything else.
You got conditions working all the time because of the handwriting in the sky. And a lot of people don't understand that that's really what it's all about. So when you're speaking on cosmology and astrotheology and all of the energies that are being produced that we down here squandering in, then you can really understand what's going on, because a lot of people believe in what they call karma or karmic justice. But what people don't understand is these four things. Number one, you can't cheat life. Number two, you can't get up from a place that you didn't fall. Number three, you got to right your wrongs. And number four, you can't pray away your punishment. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. You're not getting away with much on this earth. These energies are working in a rhythm, and life is playing itself out. That's why if a little girl right now is getting raped somewhere and nobody kicks open the door, that little girl getting raped. And if a little boy is drowning somewhere right now in a swimming pool and don't nobody kick open the door, it's going to be another funeral in 7 days, guaranteed, because life is playing itself out. And people don't understand that they can't beat the energies that God has put into position. See, I give God the praise for putting everything in position, but I don't put strings in his hands, because I give him more credit than what humans give men more credit than they give God. Because a man can produce a car and put it on the street and it can run 50 years straight without him touching it. But they think that God can make a high-tech human and still have to play strings. He don't have to do that. He already wrote the handwriting in the sky. The energies are working. And then you got these humans who have all total full will of themselves to do what they want to do. And they will be judged according to our ancient ancestors. They will be judged. That has always been one of our belief systems. But as far as life goes, life is playing itself out. I've been took the strings out of God's hands as the puppet master. I give him all praise for being the creator of it all. But life is playing itself out.
Definitely.
So when it comes to these books, only men write books. So a lady told me about a couple months ago, she said, Will, you say that man wrote these books and all these books written by men and all this, but the stuff that you got comes from men, Will. Everything you told us come from a man. Anything that you just said come from a man. So I told her, I said, yeah, that's exactly right. But here's the point though. I'm not saying that what I got doesn't come from a man, because anything other than nature, you're going to get from a man. What I'm trying to get you to understand is what you got came from a man. What you saying come from God come from a man. So let's lay it all out and let's eat the meat and spit out the bones and research and find out what's really true. Because I already know only men write books. God don't write no books. Only men write books.
Right. Mega Man, where you at? You done fell asleep on us?
Man. Hey, Tick.
Snow.
Man, what we got going on? Man, we about to rename the show, man. We about to rename the show.
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
He back now.
Who fell asleep, man?
Man,
that's Mega Man.
That's Mega Man. Man,
He done fell asleep.
Hold on. Let me call
Yeah, he
Mega
over
Man.
there snoring like a motherfucker.
Let me call.
That nigga. That's what happened when motherfuckers talk about some intelligent shit.
Mega
Niggas
Man.
go to sleep.
Wake your boy up, man. Well, carry on.
Whew. Boy, I tell you. So what's going on in the world, man? What you talking about, Big Snow?
Man, shit. I was just listening to y'all.
Man, we was having the most intelligent conversation about some colored folks.
We can't get the church in tonight.
Shit.
I just want to talk to a couple. Hey, we ain't got no pastors, no pastors or nothing. I just want to talk about what they tell in the church. I want to see what they tell in the church, because a lot of them, man, they 501c3'd out and they pushing Kamala, and then after they push Kamala, then they go back talking against Sodom and Gomorrah, and that's all Kamala and them pushing is Sodom and Gomorrah like hate behavior. That's all they pushing.
Mm-hmm. We're pro-Trump over here.
Yeah, we all pro-Trump over here.
Right.
Matter of fact, all of us
Black
together.
Republicans exist.
This the Trump administration.
They say the black man don't know what they talking about when you go for Trump, man. They say we crazy.
Yeah, but I don't see how I don't see eye to eye with the most elect on this one. They work so well in other areas, but on this one they really dropped the ball.
For real, because Kamala Harris, oh my gosh. I mean, she got so many different things going on with her. Like, she gets on the TV, she doesn't want to answer the questions, so she dances around them. And she's like, yeah, I was raised by a single mother. You know what I'm saying?
No disrespect, but my thing with her, not to be petty or nothing, but her mouth just stay open, It just stay open.
Damn, what you mean, man?
I'm saying this. All I'm saying is a couple of my buddies want to deal with your boss in the back. Her mouth stay open a whole lot. That's all I'm saying. Just I don't know what to make of it. I'm just a male, but her mouth stay open.
Okay. So we're gonna end the show with that. Kamala Harris' mouth just stay open. We don't know what that means.
I don't know what it means either. I just know it stay open.
That's what I'm saying.
I would like to ask her, when is she gonna close it? She gonna represent us. She going from country to country with her mouth open. Just close your mouth. That's what I noticed.
I don't know what he's insinuating right now. He is not me.
What else you got to add, Willie Brown, so we can get up out of here, man?
That's that, man. That's that. I mean, the church didn't come on, man. The church didn't come on. I want to talk to a couple preachers and see what they tell me.
We'll get some shit lined up for the church. Don't worry about it. I'll work on it.
I bet we just talk to a couple ministers, preachers, see what they telling the congregation, see how they pushing the vote, which way they pushing the vote, and why.
Yeah, because that's something that I don't know nothing about, because I ain't been to nobody's church this year.
Well, I've been listening to a lot of church members, man. They all up in the buffets after church talking about Kamala. These churches.
Yo, look, you couldn't call my mama and say shit to her unless you said something about Kamala.
Oh, my mama like that too, man. The minute I bring up Trump, man, I blow a fuse.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me blow a motherfucking nigga? Don't you mention 45 in this motherfucker?
Yeah, you blow a fuse mentioning that name. I don't see how it do him like that.
Yo, it's a real thing. Like, man, look, hey, check this out. I was just I was just at work the other day, and it's a group of white men talking. They're talking about politics. So because I'm there, they believe that I'm voting for Kamala because I'm black.
Right. That's the narrative too. That's the narrative.
So they're now they want to dog Trump. I don't know about because when he ran for president the first time, I voted for him, but and so as I'm listening to him, I'm thinking to myself like, oh, they think I'm voting for Kamala. Okay, so they're gonna switch the narrative to make me feel comfortable. All right. You know what I'm saying? So who has the most power in the room? Me. That's who. I got the power. I got the juice like Tupac, man.
Right.
They switching the fucking narrative to make me feel comfortable. Not knowing that I'm a Trump supporter. I believe in money. I'm not voting with my emotions. I'm not voting with my heartstrings. I'm not voting with my race, my dedication to my race. I don't owe nobody shit. I am voting strictly based on my pockets. I want them to be full. Do you know I had 5 bank accounts? 5. See, count the thing. 5 bank accounts full of fucking money. My Robin Hood, my stocks, my portfolio, my Bitcoin, all that shit. I was fucking rolling in dough. Then here comes Smoking Joe. Fucked up my goddamn dream. Goddamn oxtails, $125. Inflation and shit. Insensitivity. Yo, these motherfuckers need sensitivity training nowadays. And then I show up at a restaurant and everybody in there like slightly above 5. What the fuck is that about? Is this a goddamn daycare or a restaurant?
Damn.
Don't nobody my age want to run a restaurant no more. Why? Because you're internet billionaires, because you're influencers and shit. I was doing an application for a goddamn credit card. They had influencer. They had Facebook magic. I mean, all kind of shit. Just that wasn't on the list at first. The whole list just, of job titles just goes. And I mean, you could cut hair. You could be an influencer. You can fuck. I don't know. You can be a rapper or entertainer and use their service. It's Atlas. I don't get paid for it. I'm not exactly pushing that on you. I'm just saying there's a credit card that let motherfuckers like me and you get by. What's up, Snow? We ending the show?
We out this bitch, man. We gonna have my man Will back on though. Tell your boy, man, when he wake up, he welcome back too. We out this bitch, man.
All right, good job.
Bruce Wayne in the building.
Peace.
Happens because it would be a tragedy beyond the auto business for the whole country. I really believe that. If a tragedy happens and we don't win, there will be 0 car jobs, manufacturing jobs. It will all be out of here. And that includes South Carolina. That includes other places that are competitors of yours. You won't be making cars here anymore. You won't be making anything in our country anymore. We're going to bring it all back. But the one, and I say this, and I said it to another state the other night, and I said, this is not a good thing to say to another state, but I said, Michigan's going to be the most fun because you're so set up for greatness. All you need is somebody smart at the top to say, you can't flood our market with cars. You just can't do it. And if I say you have to pay 100%, China pays a big, but I didn't do the big number yet. But if I say you have to pay 100 or 200%, it doesn't matter because I'm going to say second sense. I hope you don't mind this. However, if you build your plant in Detroit, or if you build it in Michigan, or if you build it anywhere in the United States for that matter, it seems to be the right location, but we're going to have more fun. So I'm telling them about Michigan, and I'm saying, the story's getting a little bit long because I'm talking about Michigan. I happen to be in another state, but everybody loved it because they know you. You're recognized for this. We're going to get, now, they go from paying 100% tariff to paying nothing. All they have to do is build their factory and spend their hundreds of millions of dollars in your state. This will be like taking candy from a baby. It'll happen first, and you get the credit. I'm going to give you the credit.
Well, I don't think there's any question that America was better off under Donald Trump. And we know that it's going to be even better the second time around.
I'm from Flint, F-L-I-N-T. Fight like it's no tomorrow, motherfucker.
Yeah. Thinking of myself like what the fuck is going on? Asking God for help like what the fuck I'm doing wrong? He ain't giving me no answers, I figured it out myself. Got tired of asking questions, I'm tired of looking for help. Man, I can't win for losing, I'm steady taking these losses. Had to bury greed and chink, same week, 2 different coffins. Man, that shit'll traumatize you when it ain't trying to. Everybody shedding tears, you trying not to cry too. They say they feel my pain, but they don't know how much I'm hurting. Mama told me pray, it usually help, but it ain't working. This the numbness pain, I'm popping